Are we good? Great. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us for the September edition of the Shawnee District Roundtable. My name is Ron McAdams. I'm your Assistant District Commissioner, and we have hopefully a pretty entertaining program tonight. We have a special guest here this evening that we'll get to here in just a few minutes, Mr. Jason Noland. I have that correct? Great. Who's going to talk to us about the parade program. I know that Kevin has an announcement about Cub Launch. Justin has some stuff that he wants to share about the District Pinewood Derby that's coming up. And we'll probably have some stuff from Mike about scouting for food. And let's go ahead and start things with Ashley, our district executive, to just kind of let us know what's going on.
Thank you, Ron. And I apologize. My allergies are acting up. So I sound really hoarse right now. So I apologize. So I'd like to introduce Jason Noland to you guys. Jason is an Eagle Scout and a Vigil Honor member from the Greater St. Louis Area Council. He received his religious emblem of faith as a youth, and he's a former Den Leader, Cub Master committee member, and started with the Parade program as CEO in November of 2016. And currently he's a registered member with the National Council, serving as the Emblems and Literature Chair for the National Religious Relationships Committee of the Boy Scouts. So Jason, go ahead and take it away and give us some great info about the Parade program.
Thanks, Ashley. We'll be certainly doing that, but also talking about religious emblems in general as a way to hopefully present them and deliver some information on them as well. So I'm going to share my screen here. Okay. All right, so hopefully everybody can see that there. Tonight, I hope that you will learn something new about religious emblems, but more importantly, challenge you to share them as an answer to the duty to God component of the Cub Scout adventure requirements, Boy Scout Scout Spirit requirements, and the Venturing Trust Award. Since scouting's beginning, from the very beginning, Baden-Powell stated the importance of religion in the scouting program. These two quotes here: "No man is much good unless he believes in God and obeys his laws, so every scout should have a religion," appeared in the very first Scouting for Boys book in 1908. And then the Boy Scouts of America expanded on that in 1911 with the very first version of the BSA Handbook for Boys, that no boy can grow into the best kind of citizenship without recognizing his obligation to God. And these are the reasons why the oath opens with a commitment to God and the law closes with reverence. So where do religious emblems fit in the advancement programs? Beginning January 1, 2016, all ranks included a duty to God requirement. As I alluded to earlier, every Cub Scout adventure has a duty to God requirement, and the option to earn the religious emblem of their own faith would satisfy one of the optional requirements. Religious emblems could, but are not required to satisfy Scoutmaster conferences, the Scout Spirit component, and venturers must earn the emblem of their faith to complete the Trust Award. So it has a role in those programs. The religious emblems reinforce the BSA values and improve relationships with faith-based chartered partners. And according to BSA studies, 17% of all scouts have their first exposure to church through scouting, whether that be through some type of Scouts Own service, or it might be getting involved in a Scout Sunday program at their chartered partner. But the young people who earn the religious emblem of their faith stay registered in scouting's programs longer. And just a real quick note, I don't know if you've ever seen this slide before, but the National Office annually, Brian on Scouting, puts out a note about what the top selling knots are on an annual basis. And believe it or not, the youth religious knot is the top selling knot within the BSA. So the religious emblems programs including Pray, of which Pray serves 21 of the 42 faiths with a memorandum of understanding with the BSA. But those religious emblem programs are developed by each individual faith group with the intent of encouraging their members to grow stronger in their faith and connecting it to their scouting experience. The BSA approves of these programs and allows the emblems to be worn on the official uniform, but the emblems are administered by the individual faith groups and not the BSA. This is the Duty to God brochure. Hopefully you've seen that at some point throughout your scouting career, but it's a great tool for religious emblem information. It contains the information, the contacts, the title of the awards for the different age and grade levels, and it also highlights the awards available to both youth and to adults. It has a frequently asked questions page that answers the most common questions regarding religious emblems, including the steps and how they go about earning it. But it also has different indicators and images for the emblems of each of the different faiths. And those faiths, they can connect through a unit leader or through a parent and identify which program they need to complete in order to wear the emblem of their faith on the scout uniform. When they earn their religious emblem, and that goes for youth and adult, they also earn the right to wear the universal religious square knot. Across the programs and requirements, obviously there are optional duty to God requirements, but only the religious emblems in completing them qualify one to wear the religious emblem square knot. So for the youth, which is the silver knot on the purple cloth, it can be worn by youth or adult members who earn the award as a youth, and by completing the emblems, the requirements for the emblem of their faith. Many different faiths recognize adult leaders, and we'll talk specifically about that in a little bit, but it is the silver cloth with the purple knot, and it may be worn by adult members who are presented the recognition for faithful service as an adult leader. There are several different levels, and in each of those levels, they can earn the religious emblem of their faith. But even though there's only one square knot, they can earn a pin or a special device to recognize what levels they have completed their award in and have earned it in. So real quick, just want to cover how they go about earning those emblems. Just first of all, they earn the emblem of their faith. And the scout leader should not necessarily be the instructor for the religious emblems. These are what would be considered enhancement programs. So parents and guardians should decide whether or not their scout will participate in these programs. Faith formation starts at the home, and as such, scouts should earn the emblem of their faith. Parents, religious leaders should encourage the scout to earn that emblem. It is not necessarily intended to be a badge that is earned as a unit. There will be opportunities for scouts and families to work on something together, but they need to work with their clergy or somebody who might be designated to help them complete it and participate as part of their faith experience. So again, there are basically 4 steps that cover almost every faith tradition that has a partnership with the BSA. And the first step is making sure that they obtain the specific booklet for their religion. They can use the Duty to God brochure, or there's a national website for religious emblems that they can search for their faith. A lot of the books are available through the local scout store or trading post, or they can contact the religious organization directly. Each scout is going to need their own booklet to document their progress. And again, some faiths have additional books for counselors or teachers, as well as parents or other adults or guardians who might serve as a mentor role. Because many of the faiths may not be familiar with it, so it takes a little bit of education from time to time. So I want to make sure that parents and guardians review the program guidelines per the faith tradition's requirements. Some programs and some faiths will require participants to be official members of the religious institution. Again, want to make sure that you pay attention to the age and grade requirements. They do vary by faith and from program to program. and then identify who the teacher is or the counselor is going to be based on the faith requirements. Some programs require clergy to serve as the counselor. Others will allow the clergy or a lay minister or a youth minister or a youth educator to decide what may be the best path to provide leadership. Finally, step 3, families should talk to their faith leader, their clergy, and share the program booklet before they begin any program. They should be completed under the auspices of that theology, that doctrine, that religious organization. And many of the programs require the signature of the local religious leader and a review of that person who's completing the course with them. Finally, step 4, the youth member needs to make sure that they complete the requirements, obtain the proper signatures, and follow the instructions to order the emblem. These emblems are not available through the local council store. They should be purchased through that faith tradition's body or the agency that represents that faith tradition. And the emblems, just like you would any other rank or advancement, they should be presented at a meaningful ceremony, preferably in the member's religious institution. And while they can be presented at any time of the year, the most popular time is as part of a Boy Scout Sabbath or Scout Sunday in February, and that's a perfect time to recognize recipients. It's also helpful if they are only doing the presentation in their religious institution to present the knot as part of a pack meeting or troop court of honor. That way they're recognized both times with the current emblem that goes on the uniform and then the medallion, which they can wear as part of the official uniform, but only for formal meetings, etc. One of the places that's often overlooked, as I alluded to earlier, is adult awards. It's a great chance to recognize adults for their faithful service to their faith and to the chartering institution's service of young people. So again, it is the purple knot on the silver cloth, and it encourages units to honor their leaders by nominating them for adult award. Congregations are encouraged to use these recognitions to support their adult volunteers. And again, the emblem can be presented at any time of the year, but it should be as part of a meaningful ceremony. One of the things that is unique about the adult awards is that rather than them being earned as a youth might, it's through a nomination process. And so adult awards are by nomination only, and generally for most of them, a minimum number of years of service is required, depending upon the award. Sometimes it's 3, sometimes it's 5. But in general, the awards require a completed nomination form, resume of the candidate's activities, and at least one letter of recommendation from an individual that can be from a scouting agency or a religious institution. Forms and instructions are also available through the religious body or the affiliate organization. So when I say religious body, the National Catholic Committee on Scouting is the affiliate organization, but the Catholic Church in each diocese or archdiocese will maintain that inventory of the awards. What's unique about the adult awards, and I've seen it happen many times, is that we know from a national BSA perspective that generally in units that are chartered to faith-based institutions, roughly about 25% of the youth that are registered to that unit are actually from that church or that congregation. Another 25% practice their faith somewhere else, and 50% fall into the unchurched or undecided category. What's unique about a lot of the religious awards for adults is that in addition to recognizing someone of their faith, they also have the ability to recognize an adult leader who has served that congregation through scouting, but may not be an adult member. Have seen many times the Jewish Shofar Award presented to a non-Jewish member who doesn't belong to a temple, but in recognition of their service to Jewish youth. the National Lutheran Association on Scouting, NLAS, as an arm of the several different Lutheran churches, they have 2 adult awards. The Lamb Award recognizes a Lutheran adult for their service to scouting through a Lutheran church, but the Servant of Youth Award through the Lutheran Church recognizes a non-Lutheran for their service to a Lutheran church. So it happens in many different ways, and it is not uncommon to recognize an adult leader outside of the faith, the chartering organization. There is also a national award, and this is new as of 3 years ago, but the National Duty to God Award, very similar to, say, the Silver Buffalo or the Silver Antelope, recognizes exemplary work in the area of faith-based relationships and service to faith as part of the BSA national meeting. Generally, there are no more than 4 recipients each year from local councils in the general membership, and they do require 10 or more years of leadership and service to scouting and one's faith tradition. Finally, they should have already earned the appropriate adult religious award or comparable recognition from their own congregation or their own faith tradition. And I would also tell you that there is work being done right now with the National Religious Relationships Committee to allow for this to be recognized and presented at a local council level as well. Finally, just want to take the time to promote a couple of different positions. There are 3 different positions actually officially recognized as part of the BSA Adult Leader Program, and many folks aren't aware of them. And that's a religious emblems coordinator. They are at the council, the district, and the unit level. But the primary idea is for them to work with the local council or the local district and promote religious emblems across the different faiths, raising awareness and hopefully increasing the usage of those scouts and adults who otherwise wouldn't be recognized for the service to their faith. So again, in the case of the district, it's appointed by the district program chair, should work with the district in setting goals and delivering information to units through recharter packets, roundtables, camporees, etc. They should not be necessarily the program coordinator. Those things should still come along as in terms of identifying chaplains or whatever. They can certainly support that function, but their idea should be wholly that they are available to support and promote religious emblems throughout the district. And then finally, hopefully there's a unit religious emblems coordinator who serves troops and packs and crews, especially those that are chartered to faith-based institutions. But they would be responsible for working with the unit committee chair and serving on the unit committee and acquainting the membership with the religious emblems program and the emblems available for the different faiths. There is a new role and new training for chaplains and chaplains' aides. It is online through My Scouting, and it too has a religious emblem component to it. So the unit religious emblems coordinator can serve Boy Scouting, Scouts BSA, venturing or Cub Scouting, and then can also serve in a chaplain or chaplain's aides position at the Scouts BSA level. So in terms of PRAY, as I mentioned earlier, PRAY supports the 21 different Protestant faiths as well as independent and non-denominational churches, and supports the programming and curriculum so those scouts can receive and earn the emblem of their faith. In addition to that, we are a faith partner with the National Catholic Committee on Scouting, so we serve as a distribution point for their booklets. We also serve as a full faith partner for the National Jewish Committee on Scouting, so we distribute their emblems and awards as well as their curriculum. We also do the same for Community of Christ, Christian Scientist, and the Eastern Orthodox Church and their committees on scouting. So hopefully there's lots of questions or things that I can answer for you. but know that we are here to serve and here to work with you. Regularly, we send to local councils, and hopefully the Greater St. Louis Area Council is recognizing those youth. But we send rosters and lists of who has earned their religious emblem for the faiths we serve, including the Protestant faiths, to notify the council who's earned a religious emblem in their council, how they earned it, and who the clergy was that put them through the process. So from a district standpoint, hopefully they're passing that along to you. If not, you should ask for it, because it is a great membership resource, whether as a potential location for new units or a potential person to get involved and get engaged in scouting. Oftentimes, this is their first experience with someone coming forward to them to earn the emblem of their faith. And when they do, it is, in the feedback we receive, it's a great experience. They meet and recognize the best of the best who have approached them about earning the emblem of their faith. So at this point, I'll stop sharing. Don't know if there's any questions we can answer or any help that we can provide, but let us know. All right.
Well, if you're just too embarrassed to ask, it's okay. And people that'll be watching the video later, Jason, would you be willing to maybe share some contact information? Like maybe if someone that is watching this later wants to reach out to you for information?
Absolutely. I will put it here in the chat area. So I put my email address, and oops, I should have sent that to everybody. Hey, Ashley, you've got it.
So if
I'll put it out here to everybody. Hang on a second.
Okay. I was gonna say, if nothing else, folks, you can reach out to Ashley and pass it along, just where it's not just out there for everybody. But
Yeah, so it's there.
It's jasonin@praypub.org. So jasonin, so Jason with an extra N, at praypub.org. So,
and additionally, there are other resources for scout units, sample letters that they can use, or sample presentations if a pack troop wants to promote religious emblems, as well as a whole other host of resources, including the BSA Duty to God brochure. So,
and Jason, late August and September are like a big wood badge month for the Shawnee district and for the Greater St. Louis Area Council. Would you say that maybe sponsoring a pray program or doing volunteering to be the religious emblems coordinator for your group would make like a good wood badge ticket?
It would make a great ticket. In fact, we often work with folks who write in or seek to write in something as part of their wood badge ticket. In fact, one of the pray programs is now currently being revised, and one of the clergy who has really gotten into scouting the last couple of years, he's helping us serve on the revision team, but he elected to go to wood badge, and so his work in helping us revise that program is also part of his ticket. So absolutely, we're glad to work with folks on providing information to support that kind of work.
That's excellent.
Jason, I've got a question for you. When I first joined our troop, or the troop that I'm a member of right now, it was like mostly Catholic, and we had a very good religious program within the troop. One of the leaders was a very good chaplain, and once he was gone, it's kind of like that program dropped. You mentioned a pamphlet that we had access to, and I have not seen that pamphlet yet. But what's the resource for those pamphlets?
So the Duty to God brochure is out there in lots of different places. There is a copy of it on the Pray website that you can use. And if I can pull it up here real quick, I'll also post it there. But We have on the Pray website a BSA microsite, so praypub.org /BSA. And within that website, within that microsite, you'll be able to find all of the documents and resources from the National Religious Relationship Committee, including that document that will help support faith, as well as the Religious Emblem Coordinator material and anything specific to pray and promotion of religious emblems.
All right.
Great. Anybody else here in the chat? All right. Jason, thank you so much for your time this evening. That was very informative. It's something that I think every unit can really benefit from if you don't have somebody that already kind of heads this up for a unit. So hopefully this will inspire people to maybe pick up take the call and do that. So, all right. So just moving along here on the schedule. Kevin, did you maybe want to take a minute or two and talk to us about Cub Launch?
Yes, be happy to do that. It unfortunately, in my view, Cub Launch is not going to be near what it has been in the past. However, we will continue to put program out there and take care of those who can show up for it. We're a little bit limited. We have to limit to around 50 people. So we're doing 2 different time slots this year. So we hopefully, in the past, we've had normally 100 to 115 scouts come through. And hopefully we can have that same attendance this year by having the 2 different time periods. Ashley, has anybody signed up yet?
I checked on Monday and there was nothing.
Okay. So that seems to be not abnormal for our area here and probably for the United States even. But if you do have any affiliation with any of the Cub packs out there, please tell them about Cub Launch, which the date is September the 19th. It is in Jackson City Park again. We'll not be doing any camping or anything like had been done in the past, where some troops here in Jackson actually camped there. It is at shelter number 3, which is the shelter located on Union Street. And that's over by the Legion baseball field, if you know where that's at. Some of the things that we're doing this year, we are going to continue to have BB gun shooting. We're going to have a STEM event. I think that we're probably now going to build a catapult for the STEM event. Each scout will be building their own little miniature catapult. We're going to have the Bobcat Trail again, to where we can teach the new scouts what they need to learn to qualify that they finish the Bobcat Trail. We're going to have the water bottle rocket launches again, in which I need 2-liter soda bottles. And if anybody can collect and notify me, I'll be happy to come pick them up or whatever works out, meet you someplace. I do have to come up with quite a few 2-liter soda bottles. And I think that we're going to have fire building again. That seemed to go over well and hold their attention. I'm looking for volunteers. In the past, we used a lot of scouts to run the different stations. And I'm assuming that the regulation is still in place to where we cannot use scouts to run the stations this year. Just shake your head, Ashley, if that's still the way it is. Or did I misunderstand you when we were at the park?
No, that should be fine.
That we can use, scouts to help the program? Okay, I misunderstood you then, so I'm glad we got that cleared up.
Sorry about that.
So if you have some older scouts in your units that would like to participate in our Cub Launch, I would love to see some Cape Girardeau scouts in other surrounding areas. Let's see, it will, Ashley, yes, Ron.
I was going to ask, can this count as, since it's not something that might be directly for their unit, can this count as service hours or anything like that for any kind of rank advancement or anything?
In the past, we have counted it as service hours. I don't know if that was going against any regulations or not, but I know the troops that had boys help, we can all agree that this did count towards service hours. So we'll be setting up some Friday night, and then we'll continue the setup. I believe that the start time, registration start time was 8 o'clock. Ashley can correct me if I was wrong on that.
The two shifts are from 9 to 11 and 11 to 1.
Okay. So our volunteers will need to be out there at least by 8 o'clock, if not a little bit sooner, to keep things set up. And we'll be checking temperature of everybody that comes in. Masks are required. I've got to talk to the park superintendent over here just to make sure, because I saw the sign. I don't know if it suggested no larger than 10 people in a group, or if that was kind of a regulation that the Jackson Park had right now. But I know I've seen more than 10 people out there in a group, so I don't think that will be an issue. And we will be spread out. Does anybody have any questions about Cub Launch?
If somebody's wanting to sign up, do they just need to contact the scout office?
Ashley, don't you have a online registration out there already?
Yes, and I'm going to post a link for that right now in the chat. It is also, you can go to, it's for those that are going to be watching this later, it's scoutingevent.com/312-2020 SH Cub Launch. But I will send it here in the chat.
And Ron, I apologize. I've not been looking a lot of my emails, considering that my life's kind of crazy right this minute. Has this link been included in emails that you've sent?
I haven't sent a link out going to the sign up page, since it's just the first, but it is out on the Shawnee District website. So stlbsa.org/Shawnee. There's a flyer out there for the main event that has locations, not just for us, but also for council-wide, and then like a picture of the patch that they're going to be giving out, and more information about the event, and then the COVID restrictions and things like that, just so that way when people come, that they kind of have an expectation of how the event's going to run.
Thank you. If nothing else, I'll turn it back over to Ashley or Ron.
Great. Kevin, thank you so much. Justin Kane, do you have a few minutes maybe to talk to us about the District Pinewood Derby?
Absolutely. Sorry, I was feverishly jotting notes to make sure I could tell everybody about the last thing. So, March 20th, 2021, we are going to have a district-wide Pinewood Derby. My original initial plan for this was going to be top 3 of every pack, kind of get together. we're nixing that. COVID ruined that idea. We're just going to have everybody get together and have a big time. So February 27th, we're going to do a car maintenance day. That way, if people don't have a car yet, they can come get a car together. If they have one, they can kind of make sure that it's in working order on that day, and then we'll do the race on the 20th. It's going to be, Ashley, correct me if I'm wrong, but at the junior high in the gym. Okay, I got the heads up. So yeah, just kind of keep that in mind right now that we're got that coming up. It's going to be a good time.
One thing that I'll add to that is that we need tracks and operators.
Thank you.
And
I get excited about the fun part. I don't keep in mind all the nitty gritties.
right. I know we sent out a questionnaire, or Ashley sent out a questionnaire as to who might have tracks that we could use. And I think everybody took it wrong and read it like we wanted to borrow their track and run it ourselves. And it's not that case. It is, we need track and people to run it from the unit that owns it. And I think that all of the tracks are pretty much the same. But we do have some exciting stuff going on with that.
Could you give me the time for those? For the
About
derby?
6 o'clock in the morning and till it ends. What did we, I think we're working on a schedule that really kind of depends on how many tracks that we get. Because I know one of my thoughts is if we can have a track for every rank in Cub Scouting, then we can run everything kind of simultaneously. If we don't, we will have to stretch it out and only run 2 or 3 ranks at a time according to what we get on track usage. But I think that the start, the sign up probably is going to be right around 8 o'clock. And hopefully we can start racing at 9 o'clock. We can get everybody weighed and the cars officially inspected and ready to rock and roll.
Is there a fee involved?
Yes, there is a fee involved. And that fee will cover a car kit along with, I don't want to put too much out there about it right this moment, but possibly a shirt. But it will cover the car kit and all of our expenses that we'll have to put the race on. There will also be a concession stand there that it'll be the school concession stand that one of the clubs from the school will probably operate. And if I'm stealing too much thunder from you, I'm sorry, but
You're good. You're good. If I was
ready.
upset about it, I'd have jumped in.
All right. Any other questions about it?
I liked Rebecca's comment about she's got a track. You guys can have it.
Yeah, we should have a wood track so you can have like your old school race where it rattles your car apart, and you're like, it's all right.
I know that 312 used to have a track. I don't know if they still do, a wooden track. I don't know if they still do or not, but I was the keeper of that track for a while. But one of the things that we have thought about doing is just having an extra track set up that after the racers are finished, and they've not won. So it kind of be just, you go race whoever you want to race at your own risk with your car. Oh, I did forget one thing. We're going to be making our trophies for this, with the exception of a metal plate that has the position and that they won. But I went to B&B Door, which is a cabinet door cabinet door shop here in Jackson, asking them what kind of cutoffs and scraps that they had. And I have enough 5/4 inch solid walnut to do us probably for a few years of making trophies for this thing. And if y'all would like to kind of see a visualization of what our trophy may look like, I'll try to pull one up. And share my screen. See if I can get what we've been looking at here. It's trying to come up. Can the host enable participant screen sharing?
You should be good to go now.
Something on this line that that they can actually set their car on. I have better ideas that I have seen, but it is a base with a vertical shaft and an area for them to set their car on when they're done. And I believe that I have the people lined up to make those trophies. So that, any other questions? Justin, anything you want to add?
Not really. We're looking at doing possibly doing a corporate race also, where let some corporations get in there, build a car that really doesn't have any rules to it, and see how it does.
If anybody has questions on the rules, the number one rule will be that you're using a BSA kit, and therefore the entry fee covers the cost of your kit.
Great. Kevin, Justin, thank you so much for sharing information. I'm looking forward to this event. It's been a long time since Shawnee has done this, so it'll be great to kind of bring that tradition back. So speaking of scouting traditions, Mr. Mike Beery, do you have our district commissioner, Mr. Mike Beery, do you have a minute or two to talk to us about scouting for food?
Yes. First off, we've got two important dates coming up, and it's the two of the most important dates for our council and nationwide. The first one is November 14th. November 14th is the day that we are going to distribute the food bags. And then on the 21st, we will be picking up them bags. But before we do that, we're going to have to get the bags to the units. hopefully by next month, bags will be in. You guys, as leaders, can pick them up at the scout office, or if you guys need a Saturday pickup, let Ashley know, and we can make arrangements to set that up. But there's some rules in place that's come from council. I just want to let you guys know about them. You guys should have gotten them. If you've not, that's why I'm here. So when we do this, masks need to be worn by all participants over the age of 2 years old, youth and adults. We need 6 foot social distancing between members. Other than your household must be present. Do not gather in groups larger than 50 individuals. Any unit should split up into patrols, dens, whatever, where there's the least amount of people in that group. Each adult involved in is responsible for these procedures being met. Carpooling, it's permissible if necessary. Limited to no more than 4 people in a vehicle. Spread out in the car as much as possible. And if you're in the car with somebody that you normally don't interact with, make sure masks are worn. And try, if you go to school with the kids and that, and the adults and different things like that in your neighbor, that's fine. Just mask up, take precautions. Make sure you guys got hand sanitizer for the participants, youth and adults. Don't share no drinks or meals while you're doing this. It's all common sense, guys. We've heard this spiel 50 million times. But make sure your participants self-check themselves before they arrive at the event. If they don't feel good, they've got a cough, a fever, don't let them do the event. Adults, take the temperature of each participant. Anyone over 104, it's the same song and dance, send them home. And like I said, we're going to pick the bags up at the office since we're not meeting normal round tables Monday through Friday. If you need a Saturday pickup, let Ashley know. She'll get with me and we can set up an arrangement. Most of you guys know where you're going. If you don't, talk to Ashley. We can get something set up for an area. If you guys want to do an extra area, let us know. We'll get you the map for that area and go from there. As far as drop-off points, I'm still working on that and all that. Most of them are the same as last year. Our main place will be on Mount Auburn behind, I think it's fire station number 4. I think that's correct, on Mount Auburn. And go from there. Do you guys got any questions over scouting for food?
Some of our parents last night brought up the thought that, we can do everything under the sun to try to keep everybody in the car, safe. That bag has come out of somebody's house and we have no clue what's going on in that house.
I understand. I understand that, and that's why you need hand sanitizer. The minute the youth or the adult touches it, drops the bag off, whatever, hand sanitize it. I'm not telling you must do this. If you feel uncomfortable with it, we understand. We're going through a lot of stuff right now that some people they're not going to do it. And I understand that. There is a virtual option to do this. I haven't read over a lot of it yet. I know that currently, if they can't donate that and they want to donate virtually, they can text Scout Food to 91999, and it's a monetary donation that goes directly to the St. Louis area food bank operations. $1 donation equals 4 meals. We've got to play it safe. If you guys want your scouts to wear gloves when picking up bags and that's understandable. But make sure they've got hand sanitizer. Right now, looking for hand sanitizer, you can pretty much find it anywhere. It may not be at the price you want, but, just take the precautions you need. They're going to have the masks on. If hand sanitizer is available, should be available for them. Different things like that. As far as putting them in the vehicle, if they're not happy with it, find somebody that's got a pickup truck, open bed, put it in there, open air. I know we're dealing with a lot of different things and stuff. Yeah, if they don't feel comfortable, tell them to stay at home. I hate to say that. I mean, this is one of the most important things we do as scouts, but err on the side of caution.
Keep in mind though too that your contact risk of picking up that bag, especially if it's been on, I mean, it can live on plastics for days potentially, but it's not a scientist, but probably comparable risk to getting any sort of takeaway bag from like a grocery store or something like that. So like Mike said, absolutely take like the precautions that you think that you need to take to keep yourself safe, but washing your hands, keeping your hands out of your eyes and mouth and nose and stuff like that is going to go a long way to keeping youth safe. But yeah, I see you.
I understand that, and I don't have any issues with it, but the comment that I heard last night was, yeah, they shut us down from doing everything else, but they will damn sure keep us going with scouting for food.
Kevin, you got my number. Have them call me.
That was.
I mean, we're gonna have people that are upset about something like this.
Yeah.
Tell them to call me, and I'll talk to them.
All right. I don't know if anybody was upset or if they were just making a comment, but at least now I know what to take back to them and say.
And and as we get closer, I'm gonna probably put my 2 cents in next month's roundtable, and I haven't checked the dates, but we'll have a roundtable in November right before we distribute bags, and we may have some better guidance once we get to that point. So we'll see.
I'd like to kind of going off of the topic of scouting for food. I believe I emailed all of our unit leaders the link for this, but I'm going to post it in the chat. It's a Google form that lists all of the precautions, that we'll be taking. And I know I posted this on Facebook as well too. But the council knows that we're not going to have people that are going to be feeling comfortable doing this event. And so we want to know if we're going to have units that aren't going to be participating. And we want to know the units that are going to be participating. So if somebody from your unit can please fill this out. If you have, thank you so much. If you haven't, please fill this out at your convenience or when you know if your unit is going to participate. But this is really going to help us the day of the event so that we know, say if Pack 15 is not going to be able to do it. Okay, well, I know not to call them and ask them, hey, did you get all your food dropped off yet? So, it's going to help us in the long run, and we just want to know who's all going to participate. So if you guys could do that, that would be great.
Great. Mike, thank you very much for your time. That should bring us very close here to the end. I'd like to go ahead and hold on. I'll be throwing back to Ashley here in just 1 second. But I did want to thank everybody for taking time out of their evening to join us. I did want to remind everybody that Roundtable is probably one of your best ways to connect with other scouting leaders and to build your scouting family and find out the latest information of what's going on in your district, in your things that affect your unit. So I cannot stress enough for people to try to make it to Roundtable if at all possible. And I also wanted to make a pitch for people to consider maybe becoming a unit commissioner. It's probably one of the most rewarding things that you can do in scouting outside of your own unit. Keeping an eye on other people, sharing your experience, and trying to keep our district and our council and our organization healthy. So thank you very much, and back to Ashley.
Okay, so I just have a couple of things for you guys. I'm going to share my screen here. So can you guys see this t-shirt that's on the screen right now? Nod your heads. Okay, awesome. So the council has come up with this commemorative t-shirt for Summer Camp 2020. and I really like it. I'm going to get one myself, but they are $20 and it's free shipping. You can get it in green or blue, and I just wanted to share this with everyone, that it's a new commemorative item. So if you like to collect things, or if you just like to have a lot of t-shirts like I do, go and get you one. This can be found at gatewaytraders.org also. So for show and sell popcorn, we only have 3 units that are participating in our show and sells this year. And with having so few units that are participating, we've decided to change the location of where the popcorn is going to be delivered. So normally it's at Buckeye Logistics. But since we only have a little bit of popcorn that is coming our way, we're going to go ahead and get it delivered to the office. The only downside of this is that the truck it's being delivered in is a semi truck, and there needs to be, forgive me, I don't know any kind of terminology when it comes to truck transportation, but liftgate, I believe is what it's called. The product has to be able to come down and from the truck, and I don't think that we have those resources available at the office. So we're trying to figure out a way for the product to get here. We are still hoping for Thursday. But Pecatonica has not reached out to me to give me a definitive answer. So as soon as I know any information for those 3 units that are doing show and sells, I will definitely let you guys know. And I apologize for the miscommunication as far as when the date and time and all that stuff is. So the Cape Scout Shop is now officially open. You guys are welcome to go there and get anything that you need, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. And if you're in a time crunch, you're welcome to email your order to myself or Tamara Smee, or even give her a call, and you can pay for it in advance as well too. The shop will no longer be open on Saturdays. For those that are participating in the fall recruitment campaign, please just remember to make sure that you have a copy of your unit's calendar and leader contact information available to distribute at your sign-up nights. This will be really important when talking to new families about joining your units. Please also make sure that your unit's Be a Scout pin is updated. This is going to be really important this year, since we know that we're going to have a lot more online applications coming through online than we have in the past. And so it's pertinent to make sure that your information is updated so that families know all of the information that they need to know before joining a unit. We are doing a virtual sign-up night on September the 17th. We do have a new website for our little area as well too. It's just stlbsa.org/CMO Scouting. This is going to be a great tool for all of us down here in Southeast Missouri as far as events like this go, because this event is going to include not only Shawnee District, but Cherokee, Sioux, and Ozark Trailblazers as well too. We thought this was just a great idea to make sure that one message was getting out to families, and just a great way to be able to recruit kids virtually. And so all units are welcome to attend that. And to sign up for that, that's where you go to stlbsa.org/CMO Scouting. The CMO Scouting page will also have information upcoming about the 6th District Spring Camporee, the CMO Eagle Court of Honor, and anything else that our districts do together as activities and so forth. So the council did send out the latest information regarding unit operational guidance. I'm not going to go over the whole email with you guys. If you did not receive this, please let me know, because I want to make sure that every single person is getting the council's emails, since this is the biggest way that our messages are getting delivered to you guys is via email. The biggest thing that came from that email that I'd like to share with you guys, in my opinion, is that once it starts getting cold outside, units can meet inside versus outdoors, but you'll need to make sure that you're following your county ordinances and guidelines. So if, for example, if Cape County, if the mask mandate is still in effect as of December 1st, then all the units that are meeting inside as of December 1st need to make sure that they're wearing there's an event that the National Office is holding, I'm sorry, the National Boy Scouts of America is holding called Family Fun Fest, and this is on September 12th. It's an interactive online event, like an open house style for scouting, and it's a chance for families to break away from the at-home routines to enjoy a Saturday escape. The event will be really cool. They'll have interviews with NASCAR drivers, astronauts, interactive games and activities, fun with pets, prizes, and in the spirit of scouting, a service project supporting schools that everyone can participate in from home. And so to register for this, go to scouting.org/familyfunfest so you can get emails with updates and be entered for a chance to win some great prizes. That is about all that I have on the district level. I just want to thank everyone for all that you guys do. I know that we can't wait to be all together in person again someday, but I just hope everyone stays healthy and safe from the comfort of your home or wherever that may be. And that's all that I have, guys.
All right. Well, does anybody else have anything to share for the good of the group? Okay. Well, everyone, again, thank you so much for joining us for Virtual Roundtable September 2020 edition. We'll do our best to get this out on the district YouTube site as quick as we can, so that way that we can go ahead and share it with people that weren't here tonight. But thank you, everybody, for attending.
Thank you all. We'll see you all soon.